Well, what's another, I know it's not necessarily in California. Well, this is going on in California. Let's talk about that first, about this recall that's going on with the governor. I've never, I guess I didn't know that could happen. This is sort of news to me. So the governor's in place, but they can do something to take him out of office while he's in, not an impeachment though, something different.
It's not an impeachment, but I mean, yeah, I mean, California has rules where, if they get enough signatures, you can challenge the government, at the ballot, the governor at the ballot box. Yep. I mean,
That's
you can
kind of
do that.
crazy.
It is
That's kind
crazy.
of crazy. Just in the middle of his tenure or whatever, right? Like what we already voted him in for.
I know. And, but, I'm
insane.
not, he has, Governor Newsom has a lot of support, the unions and other organizations, people that, respect what he's done, not just for COVID, but for a lot of other things. So I think, I mean, it's going to the ballot box, but, and we'll see what happens. But, the polls suggest that he is not going to have anything to worry about, and,
Yeah.
other
Yeah.
than, it costs a ton of money to do this. Right. And, we already, don't have enough money to pay for the plans that we want to pay for, but yeah, that's kind of where we are with that.
No, waste money on
And I
that.
think
No,
that,
for
yeah,
sure.
we'll know the results of that next week. We'll know the results.
Okay. Right on. Well, it seems so odd. In a way, I wish we could do it here in Texas, for our governor. But, something that's been bothering me about Texas recently and our government has been the mask mandates for schools, really specifically, and how the government has gotten involved in that. And I'm not sure how to feel about it because I'm okay with, going back to local. I think, the local decisions should be made there. If a school district decides we're going to do a mask mandate, they should be allowed to. The fact that our government is like going out of its way to punish these schools for wanting to do this is blowing my mind during a pandemic. And I'm curious what you think about that.
I mean, it's not helpful. It's ridiculous. I mean, it's not based on science. I mean, I think the problem is, people at this point, for political reasons, want to pretend that we've always had 100% certainty with any type of answers whatsoever. The issue is that we don't have 100% certainty. We have a situation where, we look at the best evidence of what's out there and what's going on. And in medicine and in science and stuff like that, we make a decision. That's what we have right now, is that masks work, and there are certain types of masks that work better than others. But, where we are right now, we're in a situation where we have, governors like the governor of Texas, the governor of Florida, and for political reasons, they're out there making it harder for people to keep themselves safe. And I don't get it. I really don't, because at the end of the day, I mean, their policies are actually putting people in the hospital and putting people in the grave. And it just does not compute with me. I mean,
Me neither. Me neither.
So
and look, there's a lot of people in Texas and Florida as well that agree with what you just said, right? We don't understand it either.
I have friends there, even conservative friends, that are just like,
oh yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Me too. Yeah, conservative friends as well. Yeah, they're just like, what is going on? Just let them make the decision if that's what they want to do. This is crazy, especially since conservative policy, GOP policy is usually local decisions, local government, right? You make the choice, not big Washington, not big government. And that's literally what he's doing.
Exactly.
Coming down on them.
Just at the state level, it's still big government, nanny state, more so than letting the localities, which I think he'd be a lot more popular if he did decide.
Absolutely.
Decide for themselves.
Absolutely. I mean, if a school district, look, if they voted, if all the parents voted and they just decided not to do the math, great. That's what they decided. No problem. But this other school district that says, you know what, we're going to do it. This is what we want. This is what all the parents voted for, and not letting them do it. It just doesn't fit in my mind. And it can only be what you said, political reasons, right? It can only be that. There's really no other. Otherwise, you just get out of the way. You just say, well, I don't, let them do with it whatever they want. I'm not going to force the mask mandates on them. But if that's what they want to do, that's what they want to do. Instead, he's saying, you can't even do that. You can't do what you want. or
And
what
they're
you
being
think's best for
challenged
you.
in court for that. I mean, that's why I said that there's one thing. I mean, there's a lot of power that the Constitution gives state governments, less so to the federal government, which why you don't hear a national mask mandate, but gives the state governments in terms of doing things for public health, right? I mean, so I think he would even have more legal ground if he mandated masks as opposed to not mandating masks, because
Sure.
there's a very hard argument that can be made that not wearing masks actually improves health. I mean, it's more than likely not going to do the exact opposite. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
It's like, so I guess, people are like, well, it doesn't help. Well, I guess we've been wearing surgical masks in the hospital all this time for nothing, right? I
Yeah.
mean, just for absolutely, for the hell of it, because it
Yeah.
doesn't help,
Yeah.
because either, and that logic is either one of two things, because, COVID is the super virus, and, no other coronaviruses, and adenoviruses, could help, or two, this is just political theater. And I would put my money on two as opposed to one.
Sure.
So it's
Absolutely.
unfortunate.